Welcome back, everybody. My name is Mr. Llama, and this is going to be part 2 of Making Improvement Stick Master Thursday edition. So up here in the top left, we are going to have Quantic Gaming's caster, Laughing Man. He is also a Masters Protoss, so feel free to check him out too, because he is a great caster. And spawning down the bottom right, we do have our Blue Zerg Caffeine, and this game we're going to be following, yes, Quantic Gaming's Laughing Man. How did you know? How did you know we'd be following him? So once again, another PvZ, and this isn't like it's a PvZ Thursday or anything like that. This is just what people sent me. So if you want to have your replay viewed, gone over, anything like this, I do this replay analysis, as I was saying, for every single league: Bronze, Silver Sunday, Gold Monday, Platinum Tuesday, Diamond Wednesday, and Masters Thursday. So you can submit whenever you want, and I will organize it all into my little spreadsheet right there. But yeah, so just send that to me. There's a video on my channel where you can submit your replay and stuff, and it tells you exactly how to submit it, all that stuff. And then there is also, of course, my you could just leave it on a comment, right? So that explains the best way. You can send it to me in my inbox, whatever like that. But if you just want to, if you're just lazy and you're like, I don't want to go through all that trouble, which, you know, it is easier for me. But of course, if you just want to be like, whatever, I'm fine with other people sending replay, yada yada yada, you can just leave it in a comment below. I'll leave it on any of my videos, anything like that, and I'll go ahead and get it organized and sorted out. So nothing too much to worry about right there. So right here we're going to see Quantic Gaming's Laughing Man. I'm just going to call you Laughing Man. Sorry, I keep saying QXGs. So QXGLM, Laughing Man going for that Nexus first, and on this map, it's kind of a little rough. You're going to have to go ahead and cut gas for sure if you want to do this, and we'll see if you do that. To get out this wall in time, I would definitely say, because if your opponent wants to push out those lings, which he goes hatch first actually, so I guess that may have been a factor for you, and you could actually be a little bit safer now and take those gases at a more appropriate time, because hey, he went hatch first, he didn't go spawning pool first, so no big worry right there. So we'll go ahead and see what you choose to do right here. You get that forge down, and that pylon gonna be finishing up, and okay, so playing a little scared, it looks like. See, so right here already, I mean, this isn't going to be a huge thing or anything like that, but already you're playing kind of scared despite seeing a hatchery first, right? So we get in there, we see hatch first, and you're playing as if he has 4 lings charging out across the map. You don't have your gases yet, 21 supply, right? So it's just a little bit behind in terms of that, and that's going to delay your warp gate, that's going to delay just everything like that. So that's something to definitely think about right there. We do have this, and we're going to try and finish this wall up again. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, the play seems a little scared to me right there, a little bit too cautious. You could have worked, this could have been your two geysers right there instead, and then taking the cannon. And then you can have this for the wall, and if he charges in, your cannon's almost done, you can just throw up a pylon right there and block him from getting in, or whatever it is. So, regardless, we're going to go ahead and continue with this right here. Probe production being great right there so far, using those chrono boosts, pumping them out. We'll go ahead and see how you do on your warp gate, if it does come in time, and there we go. Good job, so perfectly in time with that right when it pops. So nothing so far that I can really commentate on besides just kind of that earlier thing, use your scouting to your advantage. I scout hatch first, now I don't have to be as defensive, right? And I can be a little bit greedier, so just something to kind of think about. So, you know, everything like that. You could start this a little earlier, you could start this stalker or a sentry, you could get a sentry here instead of a stalker if you wanted that. I mean, it's whatever. Okay, so we are going to be seeing no geysers right here, and going for 4 gate. Looks like a 5 gate actually, because that guy's chilling right there still. Right, okay, so we're going for that 5 gate, and I want to watch what is going on, how we chrono boost out this Cybernex core. because I feel like it hasn't been being chrono boosted this entire time. No, you've been doing good on your probes. Oh, keep it up though. Unless you're cutting probes for an attack. Nope. Just a slight mishap there. That's fine. Okay, so I like that you got the pylon down here. You scout his base. Okay, that's cool. We know where he is. Yada yada yada. Getting out this +1. And moving on down right there. Alright, so these harvesters. Okay, so I mean, it's not too bad. I feel like if you wanted to go for a 5-gate hit like that, maybe use a couple more chrono boost on the cybernetics core so it can hit a little bit faster, right? So then, like, they'd still have no upgrade, no upgrade, no upgrade, right? You were chrono boosting the forge more than that. And you could have done it so then, like, boom, right here they have that +1 upgrade, and those units would be there faster, right? So now he has these roaches out to deal with this, and I mean, of course, he doesn't have very many drones, so he's a little bit slacking in that department right there. But now your attack's really not going to do as much damage as I imagine you would have hoped it would do right there. So always feel free to take out a free overlord. But I can understand pushing up, killing off these roaches. So that is maybe just a little piece of advice. Also, lots of money being floated right here. It's kind of hard to watch, but I feel like you're missing these cycles right there. So just getting it right there, but possible that you're focusing a little bit too much on your micro over here with your units, as I feel like that was a decent amount of time between those warp cycles right there, and you saw your money float because of it. So of course, that would just give you a stronger army composition right there if you had been using all of your warping cycles immediately. And so now we're kind of starting to hit them a little better, but you know. Alright, so where do we go beyond this is the question. Twilight Council, Robo, possibly take a third here, unless you want to keep up this pressure. And once again, warping cycles to be used, you're microing your units, you're microing your units, you're microing, and there we finally get the warping. Especially when you're chrono boosting those gateways like that, if you're going to use those chrono boosts on them, you want to be using those cycles up, right? So once again, you have another spare cycle, that's fine. But I feel like that's something that could definitely be improved right here. This attack could be hitting a little bit harder, and it just would in general like that. Also, maybe adding some sentries in if you are going to go into that. That's just, I mean, I like sentries with force fields because Zerg doesn't really have much to deal with that right now. So if you could push, you know, just push his roaches back out or whatever like that, that is very useful, of course. So taking a third base behind this, okay. Cannons. Cannons, cannons, cannons. And I'm going to give you the same advice that I was giving to Pal in the last game. Maybe go for a little wall right here. You know what? Maybe not all the way up there, but get like a gateway here. A gateway here, and like a gateway here, and a pylon right over here, and then a cannon, you know, just something like that. And you definitely want to be throwing down those cannons. So when these pylons finished, you want to have the probe right here to just build cannons and go down, so right when this nexus gets up, you will have cannons over there, and that is huge. Also, I would like to say we are on 64 probes and only on 5 gateways. So you're kind of pulling the PAL thing right now, and as you can see, we're starting to float our money because, hey, we okay, so run these guys in. That's fine. Kill off some drones. I can dig it. So hey, you know what? Supply-wise, we aren't doing bad, but it's gonna start costing you, because look at how much this money is going to start floating right here. No gateways are being added on. We're at 5 gateways and a robotics facility that's not being used. Right? You also have Blink. Okay, so that's just something that I am noting for myself, and just starting the +2 as well. Look at how far into the game we're at. 1345. As soon as that +1 finished right there, either this attack had to be faster and stronger, or you needed to start that +2 to be like, okay, you know what, I need to really... That's just something that you could have done, because you were floating a lot of money when you were doing that attack right there. So you could have expanded a little earlier if you wanted to, or you could have done the +2. And here we go, exactly what I was saying before. Now you don't have the cannons to deal with this, and while it wouldn't have, you know, been perfect, it would have delayed a decent amount for sure, let you warp those units in a little bit faster, killed off a lot more of those roaches, and then you could have probably got your army over there in time. And also, hey, you have blink if you really want to blink over there. Another thing I would like to note is you have a robotics facility, but you don't have any observers out on the map. Where's your observer? You have one, but I don't know where it is. Is it with your army? I'm not quite sure where your observer is, but wherever it is, it's not anywhere useful, right? You haven't scouted his tech, you haven't scouted his natural since that, you don't know if he's taken a 4th base, you don't know where his army is. I mean, you don't have to have the towers per se, but you want to be able to have this observer over here, or over his roach army, so you know exactly when that's going to start pushing out towards your 3rd there, and then all of a sudden you save your 3rd, instead of losing it because you don't see his roaches until, hey, his roaches are already attacking your cannons. So now he's just going to get in and be annoying and do a ton of damage, and okay, you know, that's going to happen. And hey, we've now added on 5 more gateways, but we haven't morphed them into anything yet. So we can't even use all these extra resources that we've piled up, because hey, we don't have any gateways morphed. Right, so, you know, that's a smart thing. Getting these gateways out a lot sooner would have been better. Also possibly using them down here as wall blocks with cannons behind, and of course getting those cannons up. So I know I'm just harping on a lot of little things right here, but I want to go into your goals. Number 1, I am going to say is... What do I want number 1 to be? Number 1 I'm going to say is upgrades. Because holy cow, we are at 17 minutes. I know he killed your forge off, but we don't have any upgrades at all. We're still on that 1-1, and he killed your forge off at like 15 minutes, right? So upgrades are so huge in this matchup, and if you can get that 2-1 or 3-1, that's just so huge over your opponent right there. And usually he'll be stuck in that 1-1 just trying to get that 2-2 or maybe a 2-1 out, and you'll have that 3-1 right there, and that just does so much more damage. It's so brutal. So that would definitely be something I would focus on in this matchup, and I'm going to make that one of your goals. Next goal I'm going to say is going to be just like our other friend, pal. Get these gateways out, my friend. You were sitting there, and it was just late once again on a couple of timings. You were late on your upgrades right there, a little late on that warp gate because you weren't quite chrono boosting it, despite going for a fast 5 gate, which needs to do some pressure. Or needs to do some damage, I should say, and yet it wasn't getting chrono boosted like it needed to really pump it out and really hit that 30 seconds earlier where it would just be deadly, right? So if you can get that thing pumping out faster right there and get that timing 30 seconds earlier, all of a sudden you're doing a lot more damage. And also to go with that timing, I want you to see that timing of those warp gates being utilized, and possibly having another probe brought with you, so you can bring a pylon, drop a pylon right up here, drop a pylon right here behind this. So you're suddenly warping in right with your army, and the seconds that it takes for your army to walk all the way over there, I mean, every second counts in this matchup, especially at this level. So if you've got automatic warp-ins right with your army, not only will it save you the walking distance, but you'll also see your pylon more, and you'll start to think more, oh, I can try and warp in units whenever possible. And then you'll warp, and you'll warp more units in, and then you will be in a lot better position. So definitely something that I want you to focus on. And you still could have won. You had a pylon right there. Nah. So that would definitely be goal number 2. And goal number 3 is going to be scouting. Where is your... I mean, it just wasn't there. You never tried to take control of these towers. You never pushed out with your army to check this tower even. You could have been looking at this tower. You know, or anything. There just was no desire to really go anywhere and push out or anything like that. And so that definitely hurts you a little bit. And of course, the observer, the best unit in this matchup. And I mean, you could be like, oh, Colossus. Of course, there's really good units in this matchup, but it's the best used in this matchup because Zergs don't have anti-air units, right? Nobody gets Hydras. Corruptors are a lot later down the line, and even then they don't get the detection really, and it's just like it takes forever for them to kill it off. So get the observer and have that over the army, and all of a sudden you see his roaches pushing towards your third. You defend that attack that time, right? Instead of waiting until they're already there. And of course, to go with the timing, cannons. You can throw those cannons down right when those pylons finish up. And I would also, just a minor thing to note, not going to be part of your goals. So what were your goals again? Hit me with them. Number 1. That's right, we're going upgrades. Number 2. We're going to go with timing more gates, getting everything faster, getting those gateways faster, getting the chrono boost on our cyber core faster, getting that third base even down faster. I mean, just hitting those things harder, and of course getting those upgrades faster, which of course ties into number 1. And then number 3, scouting. Exactly. So you just want to have better scouting of what your opponent's doing. You made a robotics facility. Make that observer and just rally him right over here and have him just kind of chill, and then he can push up here and look at the army, and Zerg's not going to do anything about it. And the minor goal that I was going to talk about is try thinking about this base on this map, right? Why take this one when it takes forever for your army to walk over there, when you can just take this one, pylon, pylon, gate, 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 cannon, 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 nexus, and all of a sudden it is really hard for the Zerg to push up these ramps because, hey, you have force fields, you can trap his army in if you want. And of course, this is a horrible ramp for the Zerg to try and push up. So giving him this expansion to kill off, and then of course, which led to your ultimate death of him being able to split his army with some roaches, that really hurt by trying to take this and giving that whole open. And then not scouting, of course, not even having the tower to control to watch that. So I love this little red just blinking constantly. So that is going to be it, everybody. And we just had 2 replays. I wanted to kind of focus in more on these replays today, so I spent a little more time looking at them. And because it is Masters, and it's the little things, of course, so I didn't want to really miss too much. So I'm just I think on Masters Thursdays, I'm just going to be doing 2 replays to just kind of focus in on that stuff, of course. And then all the other ones, bronze, silver, stuff like that, because I will be doing 3 every week, or every day, of course, because I just feel it's easier to spot things. So that's going to be it. My name is MrLlama. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Making Improvements Stick. Almost said the wrong title. Of Making Improvements Stick. And of course, send those replays in, as I said before, at my YouTube. You can send them to me in Gmail, MrLlamaSC@gmail.com, anything really. Just make sure they get to me, and find a way to message me if you're having trouble or anything like that. So that's going to be it, and I will see you guys on Sunday.